Hi, I'm Morgan Sheets. I'm a master wellness coach and media consultant for women health and wellness entrepreneurs. And today I'm going to share with you the 5 things that I wish I had known before becoming a thought leader. Item number 1, take the time to clearly define the topics that matter the most to you. You need to really dive deep into the keywords and categories and discover which topics that your education, your background, and your life experience make you uniquely designed to talk about and bring to light in the world. There are so many topics and so many things to talk about and give advice about that can really change people's lives. But the fact of the matter is, you're just one person, and if you don't focus your energy, then you're going to find yourself getting really scattered, and it can be really easy to get pulled into other people's passions and not focus on your own. So having that clarity allows you to kind of put a point of reference out there to act as your point of focus and your guiding light, or your lighthouse, so to speak, to make sure that you stay your own course. Number 2, know your own values and your boundaries. We all have different things that we value the most in life. We have our own interpretation of what integrity means, and we have our own lines in the sand that we're willing to cross or not to cross. And before you really focus on putting yourself out there, it's important to know where those boundaries are for you. I found it really helpful to focus on defining for myself what I'm willing to divulge and what I'm not willing to. And that's not that I'm hiding anything or being inauthentic. It's just for me that it's really important to define what my private life is versus my public life. And when I'm out there sharing my message with the world and giving advice and sharing my own life story, having those boundaries defined allows me to share in a way that also honors my desire to keep, specific details and people, that are involved in those stories private. So taking the time to gain a crystal clear picture for yourself of what your boundaries are will help you tremendously as you go out there and get your message out in the world. Number 3, be committed to your what and flexible in your how. This is probably one of my favorite tips that I'm going to share with you, because I am a multi-passionate person and I have had quite the extensive amount of experience in different realms in my life. And for me, having this clearly defined what that I'm working towards has given me a lot of permission to change course as needed, to find creative and unique paths for myself to bring that what into the life. So, people I find are often very resistant to like being strategic. There's an association that's begun to happen where we think that strategy equals manipulation, and that's just not the case. But do give yourself permission to chart that course. And as we talked about the lighthouse earlier, put the what that you're focusing on, what I call like your outcome goal. Let's say you want to land an article in Forbes magazine, for example. What do you think that's going to give you? When you paint a really clear picture of this outcome that you're trying to achieve, you can give yourself permission to focus on creating maybe 10 alternative pathways to get there. So if you don't land the Forbes article, maybe there's a different way to bring what you want to create to life. Tip number 4, only align your message with brands, organizations, and media outlets that meet your standards. It's very important to be discerning and to curate who and what you align yourself with. And on that topic, I want to say, trust your gut. When you're putting yourself out there as a thought leader and you're working on being very visible and sharing your message and your teachings, you are going to attract a lot of people your way, and some are going to be in alignment with you and some are not. And focusing on building the self-trust that you have and building up discernment within yourself is really, really important as you go out and try to make decisions about who you want to partner with and where you want to show up. Number 5, validate yourself. You know, you have a personal responsibility to yourself to be the one to show up in the rooms and take the action to create what you want to see in the world. You know, sometimes it's a bitter pill to swallow, but we can't expect other people to pave the way or create space or invite us in or to, promote or share or talk about our cause. That's our job. And I found that truly validating yourself and being the person willing to put your self out there, pitch yourself, show up and ask the questions, start the conversation, create the program, be the one to bring into life that which you wish to see in the world. And don't wait until someone else gives you permission to do it. That's your job to give yourself the permission. And while we didn't ask for a 6th thing, one is coming up that I have to share with you. And that is that confidence comes from taking action. I see so many people with such, brilliant and change-making messages to share not show up because they lack confidence. And I want to share that you don't have to be fearless or super confident about yourself to put yourself out there. You just have to be courageous. You just have to be willing to take that step. You're allowed to take that step and feel insecure and afraid and, not even knowing that what you want is going to come to life from taking this step. All of those things are completely normal to feel. And I don't want you to stop yourself from doing the things, so to speak, just because you're waiting to feel confident or you're waiting to feel, fearless, or you're waiting to feel, good. Some of the actions that we need to take are going to feel really terrifying. And, honestly, putting yourself out there in a really big way doesn't feel so awesome most of the time. So don't wait for that confidence. Take the action, and you're going to build up that confidence along the way. I hope these 5 things have really helped you. Feel free to drop a comment if you're struggling around positioning yourself in a thought leader. I'd love to, chime in and give you a few tips. You're also welcome to connect with me on my website at morgansheets.com.